everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Your Voice podcast, brought to you by PBAT Media Center. I'm Bettina Lukaboko, your host for today. On today's show, we'll be talking to a pace setter, a young Nigerian with great potential. He's the youngest secretary mandate ever appointed in the FCT. He's no one but Bitrus Lawrence Garki. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Bettina. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So let's get started. When you resumed office on the 12th of September 2023, you promised to tackle poverty in the FCT. Have you been able to integrate this at the grassroots level?
Tackling poverty is not an individual work, but of course, it's something that cuts across board. But I can just share with you what I have been able to do to contribute to tackling of the poverty in FCT. Specifically to my mandate in the FCT grassroots. As I speak to you right now, through this office, there have been some laudable projects that have been implemented by His Excellency Barrister Hazel Moyeso Wike in FCT. We are doing some rural roads, and these are infrastructural projects. And these infrastructural projects are domiciled in the 6 area councils of FCT. And these projects spanned some of them about 7 kilometers, 11 kilometers, and so on and so forth. Now, as a result of this project, there seemed to be a decrease in the employment level within the rural communities because these projects are actually cutting across the rural area. So there's a direct level from the contractors to the people in the rural communities. And not just that, we've been able to do certain things within the agricultural sector through the Agri Secretariat, where we're able to provide names of certain people in the rural communities, women and youths who are into agricultural activities. And this administration has also empowered them with some seedlings, some fertilizers, and so on and so forth to help them to also farm. And not just that, we have also liaised with some MDAs such as Medan and some other agencies like that have given some level of startup grants to certain businesses and also persons with disability. So when you look at this is a collective effort that everybody is actually putting together. But as it relates to the FCT, this is what we've done. And also, when I came into office, we had issues of security within the corridors of Abuja and various checkpoints, various parks, various gardens, and so on and so forth. We initiated what is called the ACSS Act. It's called Abuja Corridor Task Force. We've been able to employ about 412 persons who are currently working within the corridors. Of course, these are not like the usual task force that you see, but these are more like informants, informing the responding agencies and giving them information on what is happening within the Abuja corridor. So when you look at it, the numbers are actually dropping as far as the poverty line is concerned within our grassroots communities.
That's lovely. That's amazing. So as the youngest mandate secretary ever appointed in the FCT, what's your collaboration with other departments in the secretariat to incorporate the young people into FCT administration? Are there results to this effect? What programs have you rolled out going forward?
Oh yes, as the secretariat that is in charge of supervising, administrative, and also coordinating the activities and services that are rendered within the 6 area council. We also have an oversight function that will preside over the affairs of the 17 graded chiefdoms in FCT. And when we talk about graded chiefdoms, we're talking about 858 communities that makes up this chiefdom. Now, when you look at it as a administrative supervisor and coordinating secretariat, you realize that we're not necessarily an implementing secretariat. And what this means is that if you want to do something in education that has to do with the grassroots communities, you have to get in touch with us. If you want to do something that has to do with health, it has to do with us. If you want to do something that has to do with agriculture, it has to do with us, at least from the perspective of data. So we have been able to provide credible and verifiable data to the SDAs within the FCTA to help them make a decision from an informed position. So what we do largely here within the Secretariat, we're able to collect data, organize data, interpret data, share data, and also make data accessible to the various SDAs so that they can make decisions and also touch lives and make sure the dividends of democracy gets to the grassroots communities as well.
Okay. All right. So you expressed your commitment to supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda. What areas have you chosen to actualize this?
First, youth empowerment. First of all, I'm a youth, so there's need, and we have a larger population in the general population in the country.
Sure.
The youth empowerment, and we've been able to initiate something called FC2 Grassroots Intervention Framework.
Okay.
Which is a framework that tries to empower the people. And then how it works is that we are able to look at various sectors and look at the government policies, in the sense that we know the president has 8 presidential priorities. So what we've been able to do with the FCT Grassroots Intervention Framework is to look at what are these priorities and how does it relate to the youth, specifically to youth inclusion. And when you look at that, you look at the issue of job creation, you look at the issue of food security, and you also look at the issue of employment and so many others. So we've been able to see how we can sync that particular framework to that. Then, not just that, we are also considering infrastructural development, where we're looking at how we can be able to empower a lot of youths in certain projects. Let's say the road projects I spoke about. We're also doing some rehabilitation, some policies where we're also engaging direct youths in direct labor, agriculture, like I mentioned. And then we're also looking at areas around horticulture, climate change, and so on, where we're encouraging youth to actually go into farming and also go into recycling and many other activities such as that. So I think this is some of the areas we're actually contributing to the Renewed Hope agenda of Mr. President.
Oh, that's lovely. So how will you describe working with Governor Wike, who is a PDP leader?
For me, I don't see him as PDP or APC or whatever you want to call it. PDP or no or APC, what I can tell you is that the Renewed Hope agenda is for everybody.
Sure.
And if you look at it, the roads and all the visible projects that you can see that the president is going to be commissioning come May 29, we have nothing less than 30 infrastructural projects that are on ground. And this is the very first time that rural communities are also seeing a state project going into rural communities. And when people move around in this project and drive in all of this flyover, there is no PDP or APC in any of that. So Governor Wike is is an excellent boss as far as I'm concerned, an excellent politician as well, and very forward-thinking. And I don't see party in him that much, even though it appears that the parties, he has always said it, that he's not a party person per se when it comes to the governance of FCT. All he cares about is result. And as far as we're concerned, we're actually seeing those results, and those results are very measurable and very evident within the FCT. So as far as I'm concerned, FCT represents the Renewed Hope agenda of Mr. President.
Do you believe in godfatherism?
I believe in mentorship. When you say godfatherism, to be honest, I don't understand the concept that much, but the concept of mentorship, of course, I get it. And that is something I find in His Excellency, the President, and also my direct boss right now, the Minister of FCT, so Wike. Of course, he's able to teach us at every point in time. For the very first time, like myself, this is the very first time appointed into a political position or an office hold like that. So I have never sat in an event or in a meeting where we're looking at government budget side by side. But I can tell you, we've had over 6 to 8 hours long meeting with him, teaching us how budgetary allocation are actually being made, how projects are executed, how to go about bureaucratic processes. So for me, just like I'm saying, is more of a teacher to a lot of us, the mandate secretaries and a lot of directors that are here, because he has a lot of experience. So when you say godfatherism, it means probably, I just don't understand the concept. I just don't understand it.
So you would say godfatherism is simply just having a mentor and someone to guide you?
Probably. All
right then. How do you think other people can grow in politics? Young people in particular can grow in politics and also serve at important positions?
For me, I said how you grow in politics is actually get involved. You know, a lot of young people shy away in politics because of the stereotype that come with politics. I'm not saying that some of those things do not exist or happen within the political space, but we need to get involved. That is the only way we can actually make things happen or get things to change. And when I mean involvement, I'm not talking about just being involved at the level of mobilization, where they mobilize us to go and do campaign, or at the level of thuggery, where they rely on the youth to go and snatch ballot boxes and cause havoc. No, I'm talking about getting involved in the decision-making process, strategy on how political parties can best canvass for their party and get more membership, and how we can best sell an agenda of the party. We need to get involved also in the areas of collaboration and bringing forth ideas that can actually push the agenda further, or push the mission and the vision of the party further. So that is where we need to get involved. And of course, you should be included in positions, because I say it's every time. I said we keep saying youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but for me, I feel youth are the leaders to be considered now, because we cannot be talking about a future for the youth or the future of the country without factoring those that are most likely going to be alive to live in it. And I'll give you a direct contrast to that, to what I'm saying, direct example. I'm in my early 30s now, so I'll be here maybe, by God's grace, I'll be here till 2027. So whatever decision I make, I am going to be very much alive to see those decisions, right?
Yes.
So
Definitely.
we are encouraging a situation where those who are energetic enough, who are energetic enough, should be trusted with certain decision-making process, so that they can make decisions that they can see. So that way, when you have this when you have this understanding, you realize that whatever decision you make now, you're very much alive to actually see that decision come to. If you create a policy that is not favorable, you're also going to be around to see how that policy will be good or bad, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
And again, not just that, I have also said it that in as much as we clamor for youth inclusion, but it's important to also understand that there is no way we as youth would take away the place of the elders. So my principle in office is very simple, that let's use the energy, creativity of the youth and synergize with the wisdom of the elders, in the sense that we have to rely on some of the mistakes and experience that those who have been here before us have actually made, and some of the good decisions that they made that took them further, and also ride on that. So it's about merging the creativity of the youth and also synergizing with the wisdom of the elders.
True. So how much do you believe in the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
I believe on the renewed hope agenda so much, For, when we talk about what is the American dream, you hear people call a lot of things. For me, when we talk about the renewed hope, what is the Nigerian dream, I would say renewed hope agenda, because when you look at that agenda, it actually speaks directly to our needs. It speaks directly to the future of this country. I so much believe in it, like I would believe in any other thing.
Okay. So do you have any advice you would like to give the youth, being like a youth leader to a lot of people are looking up to you?
For me, I'll say it again. The advice I would give is that we can only take a stand when we stand together. As youths, we have to find a way to mobilize ourselves, hold on to a vision and believe in it so much. Just like now, we are holding on so strongly to the vision of renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are working for it, and we are also supporting it. That is what I would advise the youth of this country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bitrus Lawrence Garki. We learned so much from you, and we're happy that you had us in your office today. And to the viewers, thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. Don't forget to follow us on our social media accounts on PBAT Media Center on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Bettina Luka Boko.